You get paid on Friday, and by the next Friday the money is gone, and you cannot point to a single thing you have to show for it. Not a big purchase. Not a debt paid off. Nothing. It just evaporated, the way water disappears off a hot sidewalk, and you are left staring at your banking app, wondering if the bank made a mistake. It did not. You did. And nobody is going to tell you why, so I will. You are the person money cannot stick to. Cash flows through you like you are a hallway, not a room. And here is the first thing I need you to hear before we go any further. This is not because you are stupid with money. You know exactly how compound interest works. You have watched the videos. You could explain a budget to a 10-year-old. Being broke by Thursday is not a knowledge problem. It is an emotional one, and that changes everything about how you fix it. Let me describe you, and I want you to notice how many of these land. You make decent money, or at least enough that you should not be this stressed. But your account balance behaves like it is allergic to standing still. The moment a number gets comfortable, something happens. A treat, a little upgrade. A round of drinks you insisted on covering. A sale you could not walk past. Somehow the account always finds its way back down to the same nervous, familiar low. The number where you start feeling alert again. That is the tell. You have a set point. Not a goal, a set point. A balance your nervous system considers normal, and any time you drift above it, you unconsciously spend your way back down to it. You are not saving toward a target. You are defending a comfort zone, and the comfort zone is broke. Now watch how you spend, because the pattern is the whole story. You do not spend the most when you are happy. You spend the most when you feel something you do not want to feel. A hard day at work, and the checkout page is open before you have taken off your shoes. A fight with someone you love, and suddenly you are booking a trip you cannot afford to a place you will not enjoy. Boredom on a Sunday afternoon, and 30 pounds of nonsense arrives on Tuesday. You are not buying products. You are buying a mood change. You are medicating. Here is the mechanism nobody names for you. Every purchase gives you a tiny hit of dopamine, and the interesting part is that the hit does not come when the package arrives. It comes at the moment of decision. The click, the tap, the swipe. Your brain releases the reward chemical in anticipation, not in reward, which means the actual object is almost irrelevant. Half of what you buy, you barely remember buying. The box sits by the door for a week. You already got what you paid for, and it was not the thing. It was the 15 seconds of relief between deciding and paying. So when you are anxious, you are not shopping. You are dosing. The card is a syringe. And like every fast-acting drug, the relief is real and the relief is short, and when it fades, you are exactly where you started, except poorer, which gives you one more thing to feel bad about, which sets up the next dose. That is not a spending habit. That is a loop. Let me tell you where this loop was installed, because you did not invent it and you did not choose it. Somewhere back there, money and feelings got wired together. Maybe money was tight and tense in your house growing up, so having a full account never felt safe. It felt like something that was about to be taken. Maybe money was how affection got shown, a gift instead of a hug. So now spending is how you comfort yourself, because it is the only comfort you were taught. Maybe you grew up with nothing, and now every full balance whispers that you are finally allowed to have things, so you have them immediately, before the feeling of scarcity comes back. Different houses, same result. You learn to run your emotions through your wallet. And here is the cruel part, the part that keeps you stuck. The relief works just often enough. If buying things never made you feel better, you would have quit years ago. But it does work, for about an hour, and your brain is not built to weigh an hour of relief today against a comfortable retirement in 30 years. Your brain grabs the sure thing in front of it. Every time. That is not weakness. That is the standard factory setting on a human being, and marketers have known it far longer than you have. Now let me show you the cost, because you have been very good at not looking at it. It is not the money. I know that sounds insane coming from a money channel, but stay with me. The money is the small cost. The big cost is what living this way does to your sense of who you are. Every cycle of spend and regret teaches you the same lesson, quietly, under everything. It teaches you that you cannot trust yourself, that you are the kind of person who cannot hold on to anything. And once you believe that about yourself, you stop trying, because why would you save for a future that belongs to a person you have decided is hopeless? That is the real leak, not the coffee, not the subscriptions, the slow draining of your belief that you are someone who can build something. You are not just spending money. You are spending the evidence that you are capable, and that evidence is worth far more than the balance. And let me name the specific loss, because loss is the thing that actually moves people. Picture the version of you that kept just a fraction of what ran through your hands these last 5 years. Not all of it. A fraction. That person is not stressed on a Thursday. That person hears about an emergency and feels annoyed instead of terrified. That person has options. You gave that person away, 15 seconds of relief at a time, and the worst part is, you cannot even remember most of what you traded them for. So let us talk about the way out, and I am not going to tell you to make a budget, because you have made 40 budgets and set fire to all of them. Budgets fail you for the same reason. Diets fail people who eat their feelings. A budget is a knowledge tool, and you do not have a knowledge problem. You have an emotional one. You cannot spreadsheet your way out of a feeling. Here is what actually works, and it is smaller and stranger than you expect. Step 1. You have to catch the feeling before the purchase, because the purchase is the last link in the chain, not the first. Something happens. You feel a spike. The spike wants relief. The card provides it. Your job is to get in between the spike and the card, and you do that with a pathetically simple rule. When you feel the urge to buy something that is not planned, you wait 1 hour and you name the feeling out loud first, not the item. The feeling. You say, I am anxious. I am lonely. I am bored. I am angry at my boss, and I want to feel powerful. That is it. Naming the feeling drains about half its charge, because you cannot medicate a thing you are looking straight at. Step 2. You give the feeling a different exit. The urge to spend is really an urge to change your state, and shopping is just the fastest tool you have lying around. So you put a faster one nearby. A walk. A cold shower that snaps you out of the fog. A phone call to the one person who makes you laugh. 10 push-ups until your body forgets what your brain was upset about. You are not using willpower to resist the spending. Willpower loses. You are giving the same feeling a cheaper door to lead through. Step 3, and this is the one that actually makes money stick. You raise your set point on purpose. Remember, you have a balance your nervous system treats as normal, and you spend down to it. So you move it, mechanically, before your feelings get a vote. The day you get paid, money moves out automatically into an account that is annoying to reach. Not hard. Annoying. In a different bank, no card, a 2-day transfer delay. You are not trying to build a wall. You are trying to add 3 minutes of friction, because your entire spending problem lives in the 15 seconds between the urge and the tap, and 3 minutes is longer than any urge survives. Do that for a few months, and something quietly incredible happens. The new normal balance stops looking scary. Your nervous system recalibrates. The higher number becomes the number you defend, and you start spending down to a set point that has actual savings baked into the floor. You did not become disciplined. You just moved the line your feelings are trying to protect. Here is the peak, the thing I most want you to carry out of here. The people who build wealth are not the people who feel fewer feelings. They feel everything you feel. They get the same bad day, the same lonely Sunday, the same itch to make the discomfort stop right now. The only difference is they do not reach for their wallet to fix a feeling their wallet did not cause. They learned somewhere that a bad mood is not a purchasing signal. It is just weather. It passes on its own, for free if you let it, and you do not have to buy anything to make it rain less. You were sold the opposite. You were told, 10,000 times, that the gap between how you feel and how you want to feel can be closed with a card. It cannot. It never could. Every purchase that promised to fix the feeling just rented you a break from it, and the rent came due the moment the box hit the doormat. So the next time your balance climbs high enough to make you uncomfortable, and you feel that familiar itch to bring it back down to safe, I want you to stop and recognize what is happening. That is not a shopping urge. That is your old wiring trying to keep you at a set point that has kept you broke your whole life. And for once, you get to leave the money exactly where it is, feel the discomfort, and let it pass. That is not deprivation. That is the first time in your life the money got to stay long enough to become yours. Money does not stick to people who use it to feel better. It sticks to people who let themselves feel bad for an hour without spending their way out. That is the whole secret. It was never about the math. It was always about whether you could sit with a feeling and keep your hands off the card. Starting now, you can.